Hey, and welcome back to part 2 of this video, where now we're going to be coloring in this little macapair here, and let's get right into it. We have a layer here called paint, and that's the layer we're going to be using to get the base paint on. Okay, so what we're going to do basically is use this selection tool and sort of just select all the parts of the lamp, which are going to be this orange reddish color, um, and we shall color it in like that as well. Now we have to test how straight my lines actually were there, right? So were they straight enough? Let's see. It looks like they are straight enough, um, so that the tool works well. Yeah, just select everything here. We should color in the layer called paint. Yeah, the shadow's sort of gonna be on this side, I expect, for now. Let's just color everything in. Now there's some base color, and we can actually put the paint layer around there, so that everything above it is just multiplying on top of it. So now we have a nice paint layer. We have a nice layer which we can get our base off of. We can just sort of select away the edges of this by the tool, and just alt select parts of it that we don't want, like that. And it's fantastic working in um, like Krita or some other editing program, because like you can just color in the lines. It's no problem. Look at that, fantastic. Now we just choose a darker color than this, airbrush, and we're just set. Boom. And maybe even darker than that we can go here at the very top. It's just a regular thing. Don't overthink it, Overthinking causes so many problems. And then maybe the side here we want to make a bit darker, so we can perhaps just deselect everything else by alt clicking at the same time now. Then we find some dark color again. We use the same brush. We go to brush, put it to huge, and then whoop, done. Sorry, whoop, done. And yeah, now we have some color on there. Very nice. And now we can maybe isolate some parts and just be like, oh yeah, I want to think about this base here. Let's color this in, I guess. Put that in the shadow right there. And also have a shadow of this. Very nice. Fantastic. Look at that. And through this we can have a highlight. So for the highlight we take away some part of it. So take a bigger brush and just add highlight, Maybe on this side, how does that look? That's too much highlight. We lessen the size, not as much highlight. We also don't want this much. Yes, we want that much opacity. We want that big highlight. And we don't want it all the way up. We want it here. I think that looks good. It's kind of a shiny object, so we want a nice highlight streak down there. By the way, I'm just painting everything on one layer because it doesn't even matter. We're gonna make mistakes, and that's how it's gonna look like today. We're just gonna paint everything on one layer. It's bigger. pencil. Fantastic. Look at that highlight. We just put that in. That's all you need. Maybe on these buttons as well. Boom, highlight. Another one. Boom, another highlight. What more do you need? Same thing on the inner side of this, because this is the side facing the light. Highlight. Done. And immediately our object looks much shinier and nicer. So this is going to be dark on this side as well. Same thing, we just place a little boundary on it. This one happened to be square. We can just take some dark and we will use this airbrush. Boom. Don't even think about it. That looks good. And now for the base, we segregate that as well. Fantastic, look at this. And a bit more on this side. And then a bit lighter. Look at that, amazing. And same thing with the highlight. Take your little marker, you put your white in, you make sure that your hand is all right, and then we put highlight in maybe there somewhere. Look at that. Amazing. What more do you need? Maybe a dot there, and then or like, oh, maybe here we go. One more highlight coming up. Yeah, why not? And same thing on this side with this little edge here. Maybe it catches the light or something. Fantastic. And now we make sure that this bulb thing is glowing. Brush, take this, very nice, and we just literally put this on. Now this looks very green, and that's probably because of the background, isn't it? So yeah, make it more yellow, just to make sure that it's not green, because if you paint it green right now, I know that it's supposed to be yellow, but there's some sort of color theory going on here, which I think if we go further away from it, yeah, now this is just the background color, but if we go towards the yellow, because the background color is already orange, it looks more green. So maybe the background color is not the best for this. What if we push the background color more towards green? And then check out what happens. Then I think maybe pushing it maybe a bit towards yellow will even make the light look yellow. So just select where the light is and we push in a bit further towards yellow. I think a bit more neutral for the background. Yeah, that looks much better. Less color in it, but still a bit green. And now for the foreground, I think this will look a much more yellowish sort of. Yeah, look at that, already much more yellow. We'll take it down just a bit. I think that looks good now. And perhaps we can push some yellow on the side, on the sides of the lamp. Just as it is brighter in the center and perhaps the sides are getting a bit more of this cool lamp, as the light bulb will be sitting somewhere here. Next layer, we make the screen layer. And here, this layer we turn to screen. Wow. And this will really give that glowing effect of the light going on, which we can just put first around the edge of the light. And this layer is still behind this thing, so I think it works out pretty nicely. As well as here, we're gonna put some. So this is the screen layer of the glow sort of the lamp, and then behind the lamp. I think we should make the opacity a bit lower on that. Yeah, something like that. And then one more screen layer we can actually put above, which I'm also going to put screen, and then we make a sort of smaller brush and we get the inside of it with the same sort of color. And this really sells the effect of the light, because the light is going to be bouncing off the material of the object. So we'll have some light here on the corners, light coming in sort of on the underside of this. Just like that. Paint layer, shadow layer. Boom, we take this pencil. Fantastic. We take a really dark version of that, something. I think that looks good. Just rotate that to match the perspective. Can even make it a bit bigger, I think. Yeah, I think that looks fine now. Shadow. I think shadow will be nice in the direction of perspective. Reason all the time, but I think it's better this way, that we take the shadow and we just fill it in sort of with a gradient. I think it is best that way. But yeah, you can just do whatever you want if you don't want to do this. The color also is not the best. I'll just make it blacker. Yeah, something like that. Really make it simple. It doesn't have to at all look like the shadow. Or maybe yeah. Yeah, something like that. This lamp is from this company called Marset, and I think they make kind of cool lamps. So yeah, I would love to buy these one day. So and have it around the house. But for now, we have a sketch of it, and that is also really nice. So yeah, like and subscribe for the video, and like see you next time.